Guys, welcome back to Planet Tyro. I'm your host, Donald Wonder. Let's start the first video discussion celebrating an international animated movie by speaking about a Latvian animated movie. I don't think I've ever seen a Latvian. Where is Latavia anyway? But anyway, this animated movie I had to rent off Vimeo to catch it. They tried to get it nominated for an Academy Award in 2014 last year, but it didn't. But after seeing it, man, I have to say I'm very impressed, and I'm happy to talk about it here with you guys right now.
Tyro Media.
We're talking about Rocks in My Pocket. Rocks in My Pocket is a 2014 Latvian animated drama movie that was, well, let me get the director's name. It was written, directed, narrated, and everything done by Signe Bumain. Signe Bumain. I hope I pronounced your name right, madam. I do apologize if I messed it up. This movie is it's set on the creator's real life and 5 members of a family that dealt with depression and suicide in their life. And basically, she sets the story kind of as a live biography. She goes speaking about her family and how they all kind of had unfulfilled dreams, unfulfilled lives. And when I watched the trailer for it originally, I thought this is going to be very depressing. But I have to say, man, this was actually very comical. I think Miss Signe kind of executed this in a very, not like a laughably comical way, but a very humorous way, where she narrates the story. And to be honest with you, that's actually one of the shining points of the movie. She narrates the movie all the way through, and her accent is actually very charming. It's English, by the way, it's in English, and she narrates the whole movie, and it just brings a very good charm to the movie because she puts on voices, she's very comical, and it brings a nice connect to the story. The animation style, which is the main thing, I guess, is very unique. I think she used, correct me if I'm wrong, I think she used like 3 different animation styles. Traditional 2D, but the style of 2D was like one of those old European painting styles, which was very, very, very kind of raw. Then the second style kind of reminds me of that Seth Green show, I'm losing the name of it right now, where it's kind of cut out and looks like it's set against real life. And that's the third style, real objects. Some of the animation is superimposed upon real objects. And I just want to say, man, it's very unique. And I think you'll be mistaken to think it's just lazy or it's just odd, but it's a style. And the reason why it's definitely a style is because she used the animation for a lot of the metaphors, a lot of the allegories in the story. She'll be talking about something crazy that's happening, and she uses all these visual cues. It reminds me of what Lars von Trier did when I watched Nymphomaniacs. All these visual cues that really just emphasize and really highlight the comedy and highlight what's going on. And it's quite visceral, to be honest with you. The animation is good. I liked it. I liked the style. I liked the way she kept on switching between the 3. Very unique. And I think it was made for an artistic purpose, and it works here. Now the story, it's like I said, it's set over these 5 different people, and the narrator herself, she actually telling the story from her perspective and her relatives, her grandmother, her cousin, her aunt. And the stories are really fun, they're really interesting. They can be, because it deals with suicide and depression, although she puts a comical twist to it, to be honest with you, it gets kind of serious, a little bit sad, and even depressing. And to be honest with you, this isn't so much for kids, to be honest with you, because it does get serious, and some of the things she brings up is pretty dark, I'm not gonna lie. But honestly, because she executed with such good humor, dark humor, I found myself laughing, and her narration, I just have to go on again, is just so charming that I honestly, on a whole, I just found this was one of the best enjoyable takes on a depressing story of this whole family. And it's a real story that deals with depression and broken dreams, and it's just done so well. This movie has a lot of heart in it, and I'm honestly, guys, I'm not just dick riding this. I wouldn't say I got emotional, but I connected with the story. I haven't dealt with depression on this level before, but I felt the earnestness in the story. I felt the heart in it, and just watching it, I felt kind of sad. And the different characters are from different time frames, like there's World War One, World War Two, modern time, because it's kind of a generational story. So, and like I said, when I watched the trailer, I thought this was going to be very depressing, but it wasn't. It was much more comical. Now, saying that, let me play devil's advocate for a moment. Taking a step back, I like dark comedy. You guys know that from all the stuff I've spoken about in the past. Some people may find this boring, first of all. One of the criticisms I have for the movie is that it's kind of long, and it's told all in one go. And I felt the length of it, because when she jumped from herself to her cousin to her grandmother, I kind of wish there was like a break. But it just feels like she just tells it all in one go. Now her narration makes it enjoyable, but for me, I wish it kind of broke apart, because honestly, after one part of the story was told, I stopped, because I was watching it on online VOD. I paid to rent it, and I just stopped, took a break, came back and watched the rest. I watched it in 3 parts, to be honest with you. That doesn't mean you can't watch it in 3 sittings, but I felt I gave myself a break between each part of the story. Don't take that as a criticism, but for me, I could watch this movie again. When I finished the movie, and near the end, it got kind of dark. It got darker near the end, and then it ended on somewhat of a positive note. It ended on a realistic note. And again, I felt like, man, this is why I love animation, and this is why I love people who do storytelling, who can do different kinds of storytelling with animation. And I'm glad that over in this country that we don't see a lot of animation from, we see a unique story. And to be honest with you, let me just rate the movie right now. I'm going to give this a high solid B. I found this charming, humorous, enjoyable, creative on the animation level, and kind of ballsy and just honest. And again, this movie reminds me of Persepolis, because again, it was a female telling her life story, and things around her happened at a certain time, which is very reminiscent to Persepolis. On top of that, it reminded me of Welcome to the N.H.K, which dealt with depression and real characters in the real setting. So it's kind of a mix of Persepolis and Welcome to the N.H.K. If you like either of those two, check this movie out. I would highly recommend it. I have to give major props to the author, Signe Boumain. I apologize for butchering your name again, but I really enjoyed this movie. The only regret I have for this movie is, one, I had to rent it off Vimeo, which was kind of weird, even though it was only £3. Honestly, I wish I just bought the movie now, because honestly, I would watch this again. It's a good, dark, comedic life story, but it just has a lot of heart of it, and I really appreciate it. And honestly, this is so perfect for what we're doing here on Celebrate Animation Day month here on Planet Tyro. It's absolutely perfect. A great example of animation, something completely different, something I haven't really seen before, and you really brought something, speaking to the director now, you really brought something to the table that I hadn't seen before, which I have to give you major props for. Some people might say I'm upselling this movie, but even on Rotten Tomatoes and on IMDb, I sort of got really high marks. You know, it's a shame we didn't get nominated for the Oscars, but we've had to talk about the Oscars. That's neither here nor there. I want to promote the movie here. I highly recommend it. High solid B. Really enjoy it. I'm going to watch the movie again, because honestly, it kind of spoke to me on certain levels. And if you've been through depression, I think this movie will speak to you again. But I know, it's an animated movie. Why am I going to watch an animated movie about depression? Like we always say, animation is just a medium to tell any type of story. That's what art does. It's an expression of an opinion, of an idea, of anything. But let me not go into that whole ramble, because we need to do another review. So guys, thanks for watching. And if you want to see more, I'm going to put a playlist up for Celebrate Animation Day. Everything we've ever spoken about on this platform, when we're talking about different international types of animation, that's not just anime, not just American. We're not excluding them, but we're just trying to broaden the horizon. I'm going to put a playlist, a YouTube playlist to everything we've done there. And if you want to tune in to more stuff, click the annotation on here, or better yet, on the right here. We're going to have annotations to all the other stuff we do here on Planet Tyro. And we're going to have more stuff for Celebrate International Animation Day month. Whether you're in October or you're not, we love animation here at Planet Tyro, and I hope you like the video. Hit the like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button to get more content to your YouTube feed. I want to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace out.